We have to go by the laws. We can't move in the National Guard. I can call insurrection, but there's no reason to ever do that, even in a Portland case. We can't call in the National Guard unless we're requested by a governor. We have laws. We have to go by.
Breaking news now at noon. California Governor Gavin Newsom has filed an emergency motion to block President Trump's deployment of military forces to Los Angeles following days of ICE protest. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Hundreds of U.S. Marines have arrived here in Los Angeles to assist the National Guard, but local officials insist these troops are not needed.
Our live team coverage continues this afternoon. KTLA 5's Kimberly Chang is live in downtown Los Angeles with the latest on the protest and military presence. But we'll start with KTLA 5's Lauren Lisser with more on the governor's emergency request. Lauren?
Yeah, that's right, Glenn and Lou. New at this hour, we're getting word from the governor as well as the attorney general that they are asking the Trump administration immediately to be blocked in any expansion of the National Guard and Marines mission here in Los Angeles. Take a look. You can see the National Guard here behind me at the federal building. This all comes as the president takes credit for stopping violence in L.A. and says he told Governor Newsom this in a recent call.
Called him up to tell him, got to do a better job. He's doing a bad job, causing a lot of death and a lot of potential death. If we didn't send out the National Guard, and last time we gave him a little additional help, you would have Los Angeles would be burning right now.
You are looking at last night's demonstrations in downtown L.A. California Governor Gavin Newsom with a very different take on things versus the president. On X just this morning, accusing the president of, quote, militarizing our state and provoking chaos, saying the additional 2,000 National Guard troops recently mobilized to bring the total of 4,000 will inflame tensions in L.A. The state already filed a lawsuit over the National Guard federalization and deployment, arguing it is unconstitutional. And now with the Marines headed to Los Angeles, the new legal action just coming down and being reported in the last hour. The governor in a Pod Save America podcast interview recorded before this latest news saying that the president's actions should be concerning more broadly.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostle of the great millstone. And it's out to doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. So we see, I send messages to this account, that Muffin account, so I can have video saved. So I just send videos there so I can get back to them. So we see, of course, the protests is happening. We see all these different protests, and it's happening throughout the country. You see, Philly, Chicago, this Philly right here, Chicago. Let's see. I'll turn the audio off. There's Chicago, Boston. These are protests happening, man. All right, we got this article here. No Kings protest, army parade to hit Philly streets this weekend. All right, so these protests are happening, which is right in line with 2nd Address 15. Let's grab it. Yeah, let's get 2nd Address 15 first. All right, this is heavy because the protest, but also the division that's happening. Like, it's a video I'm gonna play. It's crazy. I mean, and then, man, look, hold on. Let me get excited. So this is 2nd Address 15. And we can start to the point 16. For there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So this the definition of sedition. All right. Incitement to riot, rebel, conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. All right. And what are they saying right here? No Kings protest. This is what they calling it. Which is still a sedition, even if you consider the president. But they're literally calling it, saying he's a monarch, man. All right. So these protests are happening. Hey, this is the end. Soon we get out of here, man. All right. We're watching prophecy unfold before our eyes. 2nd Address 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measures thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs Pedro have told thee before, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So we send these protests across the country. Finally, right? Americans standing up, right? Because worldwide we've been seeing this for years. All right, from France to the UK to Haiti, they all stood up when they got pushed. Americans take everything because they're soft. But now this is happening here, and this is just proof that we are at the end. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from days that before thee, even from the beginning. All right? So we see him implementing martial law, but the funny thing about it is the division that's being caused. What did they say in that video? Well, Lord, we're going to go back to that YouTube video because it's another chunky piece of meat. All right, in that video, man. Something that we've been saying. All right, but the division that the state is trying to sue the feds. And then we have the situation in Chicago where the feds want to sue the state.
Suing the Justice Department, just suing the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago. The DOJ says the state and city's immigration policies and sanctuary status interfere with new federal regulations put in place by the Trump administration. That lawsuit seeks to have those two policies deemed invalid.
Right, so America is divided on every level. All right, the feds versus the state, the citizens, the left versus the right. All right. Then you have even just another thing on social media. You have the blacks that's rocking with the brown. Then you got the so-called blacks that's scoffing the brown. They didn't help us to do this. Now we're gonna help them. We do all this, but it's just a lot of fucking division. And with division comes tension, and with tension comes what? Violence. But when the kingdom is divided, what comes with that? Let's get the market count. This is Mark 3. This is Mark 3 and 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. So America's on the way out the door. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but hath an end. And we're witnessing Satan rise up against himself. All right, the rise are happening. People are standing up against their leaders. And meanwhile, you got the leaders of the state going against the leaders of the Fed, and the leaders of the Fed going against the leaders of the state. Right? Which means what? No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Soon this place will be spoiled. All right. Soon this is the Lord tying Esau what, man? But check this out. It gets even crazier with the division. The elites are, and they look, check this.
Is wild. A mysterious black truck just passed out all of these expensive bionic face shields to protesters in LA, and the news caught it on camera. I zoomed in and found out this is the UVEX bionic shield. These are not cheap. They're around $45 to $65, and you can't just get them in bulk. But one place that sells them is Walmart. And why is that important? Because there's a new protest being promoted called No Kings on June 14th, and even celebrities like Chrissy Teigen are posting it, and it's in magazines and newspapers. And guess who's behind this message? Christy Walton. That's right, one of the billionaire heiresses, a part of the Walmart family. Now, I don't know why they would be behind that protest against President Trump, but remember, just less than 3 weeks ago, President Trump tweeted about the whole tariff situation, saying Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars of last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. So,
when money is involved, all right, wars happen. So we got Trump, of course, set these tariffs up, and Walmart is vexed about the tariffs because they want They want to keep their profits at their profit level, whatever it is. All right. And then you have Trump saying, no, Walmart should just eat Walmart and China should just eat the tariffs. They making all this money. Fast forward, we got these riots happening, these protests happening. One of them is specifically against Trump when he's having this parade. And who's behind it? Walmart. Esau is so fucking divided. All right, this place is fucking through, man. All right, this shit is... So, martial law was coming soon. Look, now in this article, Trump says, so the big pictures, demonstrations are planned in hundreds of cities to run counter to Trump's parade in D.C. Now, he also going to have a mini parade in Philly. Now, it says the president has vowed that parade protests will be met with very big force. Just like he went ahead and put the troops in Cali, he's ready to put the troops wherever, man. All right? This shit can go down at any moment. Now, we know the chip still got to be implemented, but this can be a part of the play. Well, you need a chip to do this, to do that, to travel, to identify too much care. We're going to see how it all plays out, man. All right? But this is interesting time. So, was I done with Instagram? Yes. I want to play this and then get some more precepts. So let's watch the rest of this video.
This is an act not just against the people here in Los Angeles, against the people here in the state of California, but against Americans all across this country, against the principles of our founding father that did not live and die to watch these authoritarian tendencies in action.
Recently, there's been a back and forth between the president and Newsom, with the president suggesting Newsom could be arrested if he interferes with immigration enforcement. Speaker of the House today asked on Capitol Hill if Newsom should be arrested. Here's how he answered.
That's not my lane. I'm not going to give you legal analysis on whether Gavin Newsom should be arrested, but he ought to be tarred and feathered. I'll say that. I mean, look, he's standing in the way of the administration and the carrying out of federal law. Right? He is applauding the bad guys and standing in the way of the good guys.
Take a look over the weekend. You may recall Paramount was in LA County City, where we saw protests that started in response to an ICE staging area near a Home Depot. Well, today a lawmaker representing that area of LA County in Congress, she expressed concerns over the president's rhetoric.
They're using words like insurrection. They're using words like invasion, because I believe this is their way to lay down the groundwork to try to have martial law and invoke the Insurrection Act. And I think that's a concern. And remember, this is an order not just for California, but for this entire country.
And that's that. She said it, what we've been saying. So you heard what she said. What happened in Cali ain't just for Cali. This is for the entire country. So that's why they're using the rhetoric. Oh, it was on more video. Because this was established because 2020 Trump said he couldn't do that. Oh, I never clicked on it. 2020 Trump said he would never do that. Right? But now the martial law was happening because this has been set up for over a year. Oh, man, I mean do that. Well, since last year, I should say. Let's see. Dang. There's no information right there. It is this.
On surveillance, and this has been around since 1982 and has largely been untouched since 1982 outside of a few changes dealing with like technologies and stuff like that. But 2 weeks ago, on September 27th, Catherine Hicks, who's the Deputy Secretary of Defense, she approved an executive order authorizing DOD to amend this to allow the United States military, the Department of Defense, and its intelligence arms to collect, retain, and distribute intelligence information on
So this is September last year, right?
There's laws against this. There's laws called the Posse Comitatus laws. When I worked in special operations, lawyers warning us of the Posse Comitatus laws, collect or to use force against civilians. Now, and because our citizens should be protected from our military does not exist to collect or to use force against civilians. Now, apparently, that has changed. Those laws have been overridden by this executive order, 5240.01, and it goes further than just collecting. It actually states that the United States military can be used to stand against civilians and use force to include lethal force against civilians.
And of course, because for one, just common sense wise, the country is going through financial struggles and it's going to get worse, which means the people are going to be protesting more and rioting more and getting more violent. No matter who was in office, this is going to happen. All right? So this is already established. And that's Esau get down. For one, let's get this. This Psalms 94:20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which framest mischief by a law. So they get stuff on paper and pen months, years, decades in advance. So this was set up in September already, that now the military can be used and use force on civilians. They have laws, like she said, they're throwing these words out like insurrection so they can go ahead and enact the insurrection law, and now martial law can be implemented, which is inevitable. Martial law was going to happen. Troops will be on American soil because it's prophecy. So we got the division, we got the riots, we got the words being thrown out about the martial law, and hell, he already just sent the Marines or whatever, the National Guards, one thing said Marines, one say National Guard, whatever the case may be, to California. Then we got more protests and more riots happening. And he said great force will be used on the protesters that mess with these parades, man. So this shit is getting hectic, man. And violence is prescribed. It's Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's the division. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. So citizens versus citizen. You got the elites versus the elites. And then we're going to have the state versus feds we see happen. We're going to have country versus country. It's a big free fall, man. And money. So this place is through. Money's involved. All right. People, assets are being lost, which means war is inevitable, as the prophecies say. So let's go back to 2 Corinthians 15. In 2 Corinthians 15, and uh 15, for the sword, 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So it's gonna get violent. For there should be sedition among men, which this is everything we're talking about in the witnessing is happening, and invading one another. That's this prophecy right here. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. What is it? No kings? What's the name of this protest again? No kings protest. Funded by Walmart, by the way. Allegedly, right? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. When you can't go through your city, all right, what's happening? Martial law. All right, and that's manifold, because you got one level, you got the damn protesters. When they get violent, they're in the fucking roads, stopping traffic, Fuck holding up, stopping traffic. But then also, literally, martial law is coming. Because somebody got to control these people. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this is inevitable anyway, because the economy's going to shit. All right? Eventually, trading is going to come to a halt. Which means it's going to be, the shelves are going to be lacking. And people are going to get violent, man. So everything is, the stage is being set. All right, the stage is being set. Right now is the time to repent while we can. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, or the clouds be turned after the rain. So seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves. Oh, this is perfect too, because what else was happening in the midst of all this protest is more division. Elon and Trump going at it over the damn debt ceiling. All right, going to the fact that America's debt, what America's going to be paying $1.7 trillion just on interest. Just on interest, which is more than anything else they have to pay in funding. More than our own defense. The keepers of the house represent the economists. The word economist means housekeeper, house manager. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinder cease, which means work. So unemployment is increasing. This is a recipe for disaster. This is the prophecies being fulfilled. And the grinders cease because there are few, and those who look out of the windows be darkened. And the door shall be shut in the streets. More martial law. So unemployment increasing. All right, we got protests. We got these people standing up. They're throwing out the words to frame mission about law. They're throwing out the right verbiage so they can enact martial law, so they can enact these austere measures. And once that happens, it'll be easy to force a chip because it's austerity. All right? And the door shall be shut in the streets that's martial law, when the sound of the grinding is low. And unemployment is increasing. All right? And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So it's only a matter of time before the Lord really shake things up, man. To what it's not gonna, well, America's gonna be completely different. It's only a matter of time. So repent while we can. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Sham, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Sham, Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles, that was great millstone, and Satish was doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Shalom, wa ba ba ba.